was the thing we had to check it out. Here. Game cannot level up, so it needs new level. Yeah, okay. Yeah, exactly. That was the moral. He said literally that ideas are cheap, but execution what matters. Yeah. I'm big believer of that, to be honest. So even that means that, in my head, what it really means that even if you see a good idea and you already see that it's already been implemented, you can always try to do better. Of course, in order to win, you probably need to do it like 10 times better, right? So it's always harder to go from 0 to 1. But if you do that, your likelihood to win is pretty big. But if there is already 1, right, then you have to then exit basically to win. So that's the hard part, right? But
flames and madness.
But yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't miss the fun.
Shit, that's a lot of DPS to my head. So do you have PS5? I do. I have PS5 at home. I have PS5. I'm actually really... The new game, the Saros. I think the name is Saros. Dude, this looks really cool. And... What was the other game? Really similar to Saros, it's already out. I've tried to play that. I have it bought. Oh, god damn it, again. But I got tired of that game a bit. Because the runs were really long. And you couldn't really like save and like to get some meaningful progression, you know, since it's a roguelite, to get some meaningful progression you had to play like for forever basically. Yeah, I like roguelites, I like those bullet hells, but I couldn't play that one. I mean, I tried, it wasn't like my cup of tea, but I'd like to try it again. I'll do it again. What is going on with here? How the hell I'm dying so much? I should have enough all the defense based on my magic shield. Jump.
Approach.
Fuck off. We got level up and we died. What about the PS5? You asked about it, but what about it? Take those. See where's the enemies. I also have one, bought it a couple of years ago and I've been coaxing my brother to buy it off for me sometime. So, and what is he saying? He doesn't want to buy it? By the way, why do you want to sell it? I'm considering selling it to him with all the PS4 and PS5 discs I have for 300 euros. Oh wow, this is a really cheap deal. Base PS5 for 300 euros with games. Dude, this is dirt cheap. I know there is a PS5 Pro, but I think Sony just announced that they're gonna increase the prices for PlayStations as well. So yeah, it's still it is really good deal. I mean, I understand you're selling it to your brother, but still, it's a really cheap. I was missing one of my box. Okay, what do we have here? Beautiful. Seems like only one way to continue, so. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. I need money, that's why. Okay. But you're not playing on PS5 anymore, or if you had an option, would you keep it? I'm actually thinking about upgrading to PS5 Pro and also getting myself this capture card so I could stream PS5 games within the live stream, right? I don't have this option at the moment, but I will need the capture card for this, so I could capture the PS5's output on my PC and could stream it to, right, either via YouTube or Twitch. So I'm thinking about this one, but I haven't got to the buying the necessary hardware yet. See what we have. Dead end? No. He sometimes says he would like to game, but he has been really busy recently. He graduated recently and is searching for a job as the benefits loan from the education authority cuts off once you are graduated. Ah, I see. Okay. Welcome to the real life, right? Student life is over and suddenly the reality hits you in the face. I remember that. He really likes playing GTA 5, so it's probably a good option to play GTA 6 on the base PS5. Is it worth though to upgrade to PS5 Pro? I'd say no. Given how expensive it is and you already have a PlayStation, I'd say no. At least I haven't seen like too much of big benefits compared to PS Pro. But it is more like if you really want to ensure that you have the most smoothest experience when the GTA 6 comes out, right? Then sure, you can sell it for yourself like this. And this is the pretty much the only reason why I'm even thinking about this. At the same time, I might be just, you know, skip the GTA 6 for now and wait until the PC release comes out. But I do remember that I played the GTA 5 when it first came out on Xbox 360. And that's the only time when I played the GTA 5. Okay, Cathedral Apex.
Come, ravenous one. Let me devour your heart.
Hello, big one. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. New skin.
The flame of hope may flicker, but it cannot be extinguished.
No.
There is no shame in falling to a god. Shame lies only in refusing to rise again. You shall soar. That much I'm permitted to foresee. You shall ascend to the peak of your loftiest mistake, and from there you shall pluck a single surviving hope from the jaws of immortal despair. A ship sails for Lion Eye's watch not far from here. Be on it. There is no...
Okay. I got the achievement of completing. Take the ship back to Veracruz to begin part 2. Oh wow.
I've never had to pay the price for my ambitions. Until now.
What the hell is this means? Sinkerlo, hello, how are you? How are you? Thank you for joining. I'm looking for a new action RPG game. Would you recommend this game? Yes, I would recommend this. But it really depends how good you are also like the ARPGs. as I understand, currently there's a really good options out there. There is this Dragonkin. What was it? Let me get the name. Steam Dragonkin The Banished is one of really good option at the moment out. As a ARPG fan, if you haven't played the last Epoch, I will definitely recommend that one. So far, I'm playing first time in the Path of Exile and I'm having a lot of fun here. Yeah, I do recommend it. I personally like GTA 5. I think this franchise is mid. I remember I liked GTA 5, the story part, and the open world and all that like craziness, because the narrative was very like it was a satire, and that part I really enjoyed. It was a little bit over the top everywhere about everything, right? It didn't hold it back, so it was really good to play in that front. And also I enjoyed the open world essence where you could just, do random stuff. So it was like a fun game to play for, I don't know, 100, maybe 150 hours, right? But as I said, last time I played it was back in Xbox 360 times. That's more like, I don't know, 10 years more than that ago, right? So yeah. I would say he's prepared for the real life as a student since he did 2 internship. Okay. Right. Depends what the internship did. What the internship gave him. I've heard. I've never done internships myself. I just went to directly to. I just found a job during the university time and just stayed there. So I never did internship myself. But really depends what internship you had, right? I guess having 2 internships already prepares you a bit. I've heard that some internships are very easy compared to what is actually expected from you, So, yeah. One of them was graduation internship, yeah. Why would you escape the RPG game called Life to play another RPG? Because RPG game called Life has consequences. There's no load of getting back to some previous good state. Plus in RPG called Life, I can't be wizard as well. I want to be wizard. And I want to be this all-encompassing hero that saves the world right away and right now.
I'm Captain Lily Roth, and we sail for Rayclast. Better to live in exile than die on this psychotic bonfire of an island. You want to make it out of here? You'd better get on board. But make it quick, 'cause I ain't got time for tears and regrets.
Sail.
Remember, this ain't no charity run. You owe me. Cast off!
So we are back where we
All
started.
right. We're safe for the time being. Now let me introduce myself properly. Lily Roth. Yep, I'm one of those Roths. Some call me smuggler, others pirate. Yeah, I prefer the sound of nautical entrepreneur. Came up with that one myself. So you come see Lily if you need something, or even if you just fancy a good chat with a lovely lady. Don't think I'd be forgetting that favour you owes me. In fact, now I think of it, there's certainly a way you can be repaying this most considerable debt. You see, those blasted cultists have been plundering the refugee ships trying to escape Oriuth. And if not for my incomparable skill as a sea captain, we'd have met the same fate. But now the drowned dead are washing ashore, and they ain't staying dead. There's been a whole lot of blood, sweat and tears getting these few lucky survivors here in one piece. What sort of captain would I be if I let them get ripped apart by walking corpses? Wipe the Twilight Strand clean of those filthy undead bastards and I'll call us even. Might even throw in a little something extra if you can pull it off.
Okay. Bestel.
That scallywag. I reckon Bestel thinks I'd be the kind of lass who'll bed down with any sort of rascal. Not too far off, I guess. He is rather sweet, but not the most comely of figures. Actually, he kind of reminds me of my grandfather, Waylon Roth. A poet and scoundrel extraordinaire he be. Bestel's but spittle from the mouth of old Rot-Tooth Roth. Ahem. Bust my blind cheek, said the sailor to the doxy. She sports her dairy treats afar and relishes her moxie. But a fire ship will sink the broken neath the ocean waves. Tip nutmegs a deadly token, sends captains to their graves.
Tarley.
Yeah, I knew Tarkley, if you catch me drift. He's got no time for his old bunkmate these days, though. Too gaga-eyed over his lost cause of a fishwife Nessa. Time was, Tarkley and I would smuggle all about the coast of Oriath. Oh, good days they was. Sweet with rum, nothing but the wind and salt in our faces, freedom in our hearts, and the law on our tails. But I could tell he were getting ready to make feet for children's stockings with me, so I cut him loose. Not a spark's chance under the ocean the dreaded Lily Roth's gonna wind up swelling like some drowned carcass. Still, nice to work with that bugger one more time, just for old time's sake, you know?
Waylon Roth.
Waylon Roth. Here, let me share something I remember from me granddaddy's stories. No sooner had the others turned in fear from the great white Leviathan did Waylon load the ballista with his final harpoon. And right then he vowed to sea and sky that he and he alone would be the one to finally kill this bastard son of the Brine King. The ballista fired and the harpoon smote that creature right between the ribs as it made to dive back under the angry sea. Thick clouds of blood bloomed beneath the waves, roses flowering in the black water, and impossible though it seemed, the already shadowed ocean grew darker still. He used the bones of the great beast to reinforce the hull of his ship, the Black Crest. Old Rot-Tooth, he's a true legend, a real pirate hero. I can only hope one day my own stories will reach his ears and make him proud of the granddaughter he had to leave behind. Time and tide wait for no man.
I see. Also, it's less emotional deteriorating to get rejected by female than in real life. But for me, life is enough RPG. It's not worth to play another RPG simultaneously. I mean, I wouldn't take that hard, you know. In real life, you can enjoy what you have, right? And truly, like I said, just enjoy what you have. In games, you can live through the different fantasy and take it as you want. Some people enjoy books to live through the different fantasies. Some enjoy TV shows, others enjoy computer games. For me, games really are just a way to, you know, something to experience, something to rest my mind, if you can say it this way, after a long day of dealing with family, dealing with kids, dealing with work, dealing with everything. So it's for me, it's this kind of work. And I really enjoy games where there is a really cool story with it, especially lately when it's also voice acted. ARPGs like this game, I enjoy specifically because I grew up with Diablo. Like the Diablo 1 was one of the, like I'd say, more massive games or bigger games that I played when I was very young. So yeah, I would keep them as a separate, but I get your point. I like the way you played the RPG, how you did the RPG wordplay there. And also rejection by females, this is a good thing. It just helps you to grow.
Despite your best efforts, Beast Slayer, a splinter of hope remains. The very seed that brought my beast into existence. The Dark Ember. Never again shall it birth a life so magnificent as the beast. yet a residue of that power still lingers. Enough to give us a fighting chance against the ravenous Kitava. How do we obtain this dark ember? 3 hearts were silenced. 3 hearts must sing again, one last time. In that final flickering of life, our savior's seed shall be born. All I need are 3 fine souls with which to stoke the flames. Chevron of Umbra, Inquisitor Maligaro, Doldre the Dark Tongue. 3 spirits of near unfathomable resilience and vigor, freed with the beast's final exhalation. So let us begin the harvest. Chevron has come home to Axiom. We shall give her the warm welcome she sincerely deserves. I shall put this simply, for in truth, everything comes down to the simple act of planting a seed in the ground. The gods are rising because you slew the one creature that prevented them from doing so. Your name for it is the Beast. It was I who planted the seed in the rich soil beneath Highgate, who nurtured it, who watched it bloom into maturity, even as I succumbed to its mollifying powers. We gods, we were driven into slumbering darkness, to dream away eternity whilst the gentle beast watched over us. I would desire that we return to that blissful state, but my brothers and sisters of deism shall never submit to banishment. They have tasted freedom once more, and they shall not let go of this world until it is pried from their cold, dead hands. Good hello. The beast was
Alchemy
never a
and
cruel
black
master.
thaumaturgy?
It didn't
Sure
want
know
to
how to
destroy,
lift my
to corrupt,
spirits.
to terrorize. It simply existed to exist. I made it that way. Unfortunately, in neglecting to provide it with ambition, I made it vulnerable to the ambitions of others. Queen Atziri and Doriani, Emperor Chittus and Malachi. Others even before them. I created a beast that would free humanity from the tyranny of the gods. Yet all I really did was provide the perfect tool with which humanity could tyrannize itself. If she is to be of any use to us, the Umbra's spirit must be wrenched from her mortal manifestation and lashed to our greater cause. That is your task. For my part, I shall negotiate the terms of her cooperation. With a tragic kiss and lasting embrace, her essence shall pass into me as if she were a sweet breath from the mouth of my lover. It is a sacrosanct sacrifice for all involved. Thankfully for you, all I ask is that you do what you clearly do best. Kill. Good greetings. Ambition is the bane of mortality. It was through ambition that we gods transcended the thick mud and thin blood of our mundane birthrights. Ambition that drove us to sustain our divine selves through the subjugation of others. Chevron's soul is made up of 1 part ambition and 2 parts raw, unbounded passion. Such a volatile spark shall burn briefly and brightly, and even the most deadened of hearts. Goodbye.
All right, lot of talking here, and we are back at the beginning. Let's talk with Pestel.
Now there's a pair of eyes I could never forget. If the tales are true, those peepers of yours have seen all the wonders of Rayclast by now, and a few things they likely wish they hadn't. Oh, and no need for us to speak of Oriath. My ears are brimful with the sorrows these wretched companions of yours have been spilling. Now, I'm sure you've noticed that Lion Ice Watch has seen better days. Our once bubbling township has, alas, become a brooding quagmire of gloom and despair. I blame the unrelenting weather. As you know, I am both a humanitarian and a strong believer in the soul-sustaining power of story. Back when I was still captain of the Merry Gull, many days at sea afforded me time to work on my thespian aspirations. I wrote a theatrical epic, a one-man show entitled Cedric and the Buxom Stranger. I sealed the manuscript inside a roll of oiled leather and stashed it in the hold for safekeeping. Perhaps you could salvage it for me from that tidal island upon which my poor ship came to rest. Who knows? Maybe we can bring some joy back to Lion Eyes Watch with a bit of live entertainment.
Cool. Right, let's sell items as well. That I didn't expect to come back here, to be honest, but sure, we are here, then we are. Sell that one. Here's all. Right. Let's do the other. Glad for you. I personally nothing make of my role on my eyes more than stumbling up on RPG games. I might enjoy RPG games that are more forgiving or games where your stats automatically scale up without requiring you putting thought on it while playing, like Yakuza, like a dragon. Yeah, that's a different thing you want to, right? I personally enjoy that. Here we have really big passive tree that you could like really define, and it can put like, if you start thinking about it, will make your head explode, right? At the same time, I do enjoy it. I do want to understand how it all works and think of possible combinations. On the other hand, every now and then I do enjoy games like you said, like Yakuza Like a Dragon, where just stats are automatically scaled and I can just enjoy the game. That's also fine. It is.
Hello, Exile.
I just like to play games which I tend to enjoy. And it's very, very hard for me to define what is the game I enjoy specifically. Sometimes I just enjoy like games like, for example, Protato, right? Simple game but very complex mechanics. Then there's some very heavy story-driven long RPGs. Then sometimes I may just want to do couple of races in some rally game, for example. Or I just want to go and play some Doom and blast enemies without worrying too much. Really depends on the mood. Yeah. And this is okay.
Now there's a sorry tale. More miserable than any dirge I've ever heard. Nessa's gone. Wandered off into the night, muttering to herself about dancing to his ditty. No, I didn't go after her. In truth, she was gone when I woke up the next morn. I only imagined she'd be muttering, you see, on account of the murmuring she's been making these past few weeks. Always the same. About him and his song, whoever in damnation he is. Lily Roth, granddaughter of the legendary Rottooth Roth. Oh, apologies if I seem a little giddy. It's not any old day you get to meet marine royalty. I mean, you know how I feel about pirates and all, but the Roths have as much in common with those scurvy sea rats as a shark does with a goldfish. Lily has her granddaddy's blood in her veins. It's plain for all to see. Look at the luster in her eyes, the ruddy blush of her skin. That there's a pirate princess, and no mistake. Yes, we live in curious times indeed. A time when old stories are being birthed, muling, and puking into our world of dirt and blood. It's all a bit inspiring, really. Hence, I've written a little something. Ancient anecdotes now wake from their beds, looming in our fears, towering above our heads. Age-old lusts and bygone greeds, walking and reeking as humanity bleeds. Rivers of history, lakes of blood, the gods stand upon us as we cower in the mud. You'll not find a more renowned pirate as Whalem Rocktooth Roth. In times when Fairgraves was still a whelp earning his sea legs, Rottooth was prowling the Strait of Orioth in his ship, the Black Crest. It's said he built it himself, lining its hull with the bones of some great sea beast he slew with nothing but a harpoon and a bottle of rum. Never was there a more nimble, more ferocious vessel, like that Leviathan spirit still lived and breathed in its timbers. No one sighted Rottooth for 20 years or more, but I know where the Black Crest is. The ship graveyard, no less. Seems that Wayland Roth might have had his last meal with Lady Mervale. You won't find a sailor that doesn't whisper a quiet prayer to the Brine King before casting off. In fact, under the maddening radiance of a full moon, the more superstitious captains would drown some poor slave or failed mutineer just to keep old Tsoagoth happy. No, that wasn't a sneeze. That's the fish god's old Esmerian name. It's considered foul luck to speak it on board a ship. A keel-hauling offence.
Okay, finally exhausted dialogues with him. Let's see the Darley.
First we hear that Orioth has lost its bloody mind, and then you turn up. Doesn't take a scholar to work out how these two events might be connected. I don't know what's going on out there, and I probably wouldn't understand it if I saw it with my own two eyes. What I do know is this. The world we knew, it's gone. Now we have to do our damnedest to make sure we don't go with it. Nessa. I saw her one night, running out across the coast, headed in the direction of the mudflats. Called out to her, but she didn't even turn her head. Maybe she couldn't hear me. Maybe she didn't want to. I don't bloody know. I tried to run after her, but she'd vanished into the darkness before my feet had barely touched the sand. So I tracked her, all the way to the mudflats, and that's when her tracks, they just stopped. No sign of meeting someone or something. No sign of a struggle. It's like one moment she was running and the next, gone. Look, I've heard some things about what you've done. Things that beg a belief. Now you can do this. Please. Find Nessa. Bring her back to us.
Now I think of it, I can't wrap my head around the fact that Yakuza Like a Dragon and Persona games are considered RPG games. They are these JRPG games, right? At the same time, Expedition 33 was an RPG game. So how do you define for yourself RPG game? Is RPG game something for you where you craft your character from zero to something? You make every decision, how you build, how do you set up the build? Is RPG game where you just do the gearing part and some slight modifications like the abilities? Like, how do you think about this? I think it makes totally sense because in Persona games you also take the skills that you want to use. You try to communicate with your companions. You try to level up some relationship there. I don't know about Yakuza games, but I know that Yakuza games you have a lot of side activities that you can do. I guess it makes sense, right? But yeah, it's probably not like in terms of character development RPG games.
I wonder how much Lily squeezed out of those refugees from Orioth. Yes, she did risk her life and ship to save them. But I knew the Lily of old, a damn fine smuggler. And that Lily never did a good deed that didn't also turn a profit. I had a life before Lion Eye's watch. Not much of one by some people's standards, but it was good enough for me. Lily and I would smuggle a bit of booze to keep our purses full. We were good at it, too. Made us a fine partnership, her quick mind and my steady nerves, right up until the day she left me drunk and trussed on Penance Quay. By the time the blackguards unwrapped their present, she was halfway to Trathus. That's how I ended up here. Yes, it smarts a bit to look at her. But what right have I to say where the flotsam finally washes up? Never took much stock in the stories Lily told. Didn't sit right. Those full moon sacrifices her and her ilk would do out on the open water. But now, in light of everything, I'm obliged to reconsider. If it meant Nessa might be spared the attentions of that wretched Brine King, I'd even be inclined to slit a mutineering throat or two myself.
Why lights?
Those shambling nobles out there on the strand? They left Oriath to die a bloody death, rats fleeing a sinking ship. Seems they learned a bit of the hard truth, though. Doesn't matter how much money you have, you can't outrun death when it comes for you. Can't say they've actually noticed, though. They're still the same flesh-eating bastards they've always been. Just a bit more obvious about it now. Stay sharp out there.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, administrator.
My apologies, Exile, but I'm waiting for someone. Perhaps you could attend to the needs of the others here.
Oh,
Stay out of trouble.
Greeting.
yeah, sure.
Made any
What's this? Faustus.
Why, hello, stranger. I am Faustus, the captain of the fair Maryline. Consider me your access to the wealth of Raycroft. There's not a single market I can't reach. You've got currency, they've got currency, and thus I shall be your most esteemed facilitator for a small fee, of course.
Riot.
It's awful business what happened to Oriath. Terrible, just terrible. I was lucky, safely out at sea with my crew. I hope those responsible are held accountable. Barring those with whom I have ongoing business, of course. I suspect they were merely in the wrong place at the wrong time. Can't blame someone for having rotten luck.
Okay, we can gamble with him. Cool.
Farewell.
Cool. Alright. Let's do... Let's go to the Stroud Aspirants Plaza. Because I want to do
The just
Ascendancy.
goddess presides over us all. The future of the Empire rests in her even hands. The goddess is watching.
So let's try to do it. I've tried it once. I failed. So let's do it again.
In the impressionable youth of my reign, I was encouraged to believe in the precious nature of my imperial blood. The divine claret, as one fool of a courtier would repeat with tiresome regularity. Unfortunately, my divine claret refused to pour from one cup to another. Try as I might, with a lovely procession of young and ever dutiful wives, my noble seed simply would not sprout. Who then to choose as my worthy successor? With the candidates on hand either mediocre at best or maniacal at worst, I found myself in quite the quandary. That's when fortune took me by the hand and led me to a forgotten tome on a forgotten shelf in the quietest corner of San Library. A tome entitled Ancient Traditions of Asmarian Ascendancy. The rest, one might say, is history.
Okay, cool. We have here... Wait. Oh, okay, now we finally opened it. So what does it mean? Okay, this is bad, wrong button. You just do this way. Oh, I can't. Okay, so we actually have to find the correct route. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. So this is this one. Okay, we did it. Cool little puzzle. You summarized it nicely. Okay. Yeah, I'm here, like I said, I'm here to just enjoy the games. Like, I don't think too much of whether one game is RPG or, you know, some specific type or not. I'm just there to enjoy the game. For me, the most important thing is that game is fun. Game is fun to play. I have good time. If I can have that, then it's good thing in my eyes. Right. Yep. And that I would say I can have even good times with games where I'm frustrated. Where I'm getting frustrated. Like, let's say those Souls-likes. They just provide the challenge different way. But I totally agree when people say that this game are not for them or they don't like it, and this is fine. I have same thing with, for example, Call of Duty's. The latest Call of Duty's really. Like the first Call of Duty, which was the World War II based. I really like those ones. And I even played along like many hours, thousands of hours, those back in the day.
The weary traveler. The Asmeri were the first culture known in history to use trials of strength, wisdom, and spirit to select its chieftains. The first Lord's trial was a rough-hewn maze festooned with wild animals and brutal traps, crafted to test aspiring Asmerian leaders' body, mind, and soul. In conquering the adversities of the maze, a champion proved they were capable of bearing the crushing burden of chieftainship. The first trials were simple contraptions reflecting simple times. As the Asmerian civilization grew in number and complexity, so did the trials, from treacherous mazes to bewildering labyrinths. Alas, there are no surviving descriptions of the labyrinth that tested and proved the worth of Viruso Prima Imperialis. I imagine it was quite something to behold.
It's a logical approach, respected approach toward gaming. Yeah, you could.
Things that slumber should never.
Maybe you could just like say that way. Yeah, I've never thought about this. Like, is it logical or respected? You know.
Receive your sentence. Such resilience. Pity the emperor who sits alone on his throne.
Okay, what now? Next. Sanatorium, alright. I see, so we need to do this one now. Time crank. Ah, shit. So we need to be really mindful where are we stepping here. Okay. Oh,
The son of Ezemir met the son of San upon the road to the Imperial throne. The Eternal offered his cunning, his eyes and ears bought and paid for. The Ezemite offered his strength, his sword, earned in the arena. A pact was forged, with the labyrinth as witness. Two men separated by blood, two men bound by hope, two men, and only one emperor.
yeah, you're just in for enjoying games, not for analytical purposes. Yeah, I guess you could put this way, but at the same time, they are to be enjoyed, right? Games. Did I out of blue start it sound like a how AI indulging conversation? A bit, yeah. For a second I thought that I lost you. But even with AI, I can chat all I don't really care. I can chat with the AI as well. It's really hard to have like conversation playing this game because I just see that I just happen to lose a lot of time focus, and mostly losing focus to the game, which is sucks, especially when you're watching and you're trying to have a conversation with me. So I need to upper my game there, or improve myself there, really. Okay, there's some lever. Can I access that? So if I go this way, I have no idea where I am.
The Ezemite and the Eternal took their rest in the lee of Strife's gale and remembered the travelled road. Beast and fiend had fallen and bled to the Ezemite's sword, swift and true. Trap and trial had risen and succumbed to the Eternal's wits, quick and shrewd. Two men had cried their triumph, a warrior and his guide, whilst other ascendants echoed their pride with anguish and agony.
Thinking that should I just go to the boss or do whatever we have to do here? Not sure. I don't understand it. I know that the thing we are doing here at the moment is some ascendancy thing, so I'm guessing we're gonna get some bonuses if we do that, but I'm not fully sure what it means, you know. Or why do we need to do that? It would have been funny if I typed what you are saying to AI. Ah, thank you, Fire AK Drazen. It unlocks your ascendancy class. And ascendancy class is my, like, subclass. Okay. Shit. Where I'm going now? I don't want to die here. Oh, but that... Didn't expect this one. Yeah, essentially give you a smaller tree with really powerful effect. Oh, okay. Then yes, let's do it. But what should be the strategy here? Should I try to open those levers that I'm seeing, those switches, or it doesn't really matter? Just go, or should I just go directly to the boss and next exit if I can? Ashraf, Looty labyrinth is kinda bad, we'll just go to the deep end. Okay. Ashraf, it would be funny if I type what you are saying to an AI, copy back these answers to you.
When the time comes to strike,
Yeah.
an emperor strikes without hesitation. To entertain doubt is to dance with death. The Asmeri were
I think yes,
consummate
it would be fun,
survivors.
but I wouldn't probably
They had to be, having
guess it that it would be
slowness
AI
and
answer.
strength to one's enemies in all of Rayclast.
I promise I didn't do that.
Some might
Okay.
say. I do
We'll see.
not. I believe it was the making of them. And failure is an illusion. So it is no wonder you are inexhaustible. With survival being a moment-by-moment concern, wisdom is the offspring of suffering and time quite intimately. Strong leadership is able to bridge the chasm between existence and extinction. Poor leadership might see an entire tribe vanish into that same chasm. When the Asmeri descended from their mountains to conquer the fecund lands of central Rayclast,
Let's
they
try to
thrived
run,
and multiplied
see where
with
the
utmost alacrity
some exit
in those
might be.
more forgiving climes.
There is
Or is it
some
not poverty that teaches
something
us
there.
how we might excel in times of plenty?
I have no idea where I'm going. So I'm just randomly... Okay, this is... Oh no, this is not dead end. I was thinking... Yeah, dead end. Oh, another level up for that. Oh, what is... How did I lose so much health? Oh, this is dead end. Guess there is also a dead end. Switchstone. Okay, we can go here and dead end. Interesting. So nothing. We can't teleport. So what do we have here? Lever. Okay. I see. So we have to go through this fire here. It didn't give us anything, so go this one. Let's wait it out. Then let's go. Shit. That's a lot of traps. And I got slowed. You know what kind of games I'm into lately? Experience that fit the Steam Deck, like Tom Keeper and some harvesting titles that look different than a planned title set genre. One Lonely Post, for example. Have you played Stardew Valley? Then I'd say that Stardew Valley would be probably fit really good for Steam Deck. And you could spend there hundreds of hours